York.
I am back in New York.
You said you were never going to come back, and you're back in New York.
Who are you, my mother, putting words in my mouth? I never said I was never coming back to New York.
I think your exact words are, bye, Ellen. Nice knowing you. I'm never coming back to this L-ole. And you can die in a flaming pile of trash when the summer comes back. See ya, wouldn't want to be ya. Those were your exact words.
They either upped your meds or they're not giving you enough. I'm going to leave it up to the audience to choose.
Hello, Joseph.
Hello, Yellen Marie Marsh. I never said any of those things.
He's in a New York state of mind. My baby's back. He's back. No, I'm just kidding. It's temporary. Then he leaves me to go back for LA. But you are all here. And welcome to I Think Not, the podcast where two best friends just lie about each other. And that's it.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. Go ahead.
Welcome to I Think Not, the podcast where Joey Taranto and me, Ellen Marsh, recap all of your favorite true crime TV shows, episode by episode. We do one a month, and boy, do we have a show for you for October 2024. This is a gift from the baby Jesus.
I thought that this was a typo. When you were like, hey, go look up Smugshot. I'm like, she did it again. Voice to text. It's something. I thought it was a typo. Nope, turns out it's called Smugshot.
Smugshots, y'all. Get on board. It's available on AMC and Amazon and Hulu and YouTube Plus and all the things. Run, don't walk. This is our kind of show.
Do you like the theme song?
Obsessed.
It's so good. Should we sing it for them?
Yes.
Okay. Hit it, Rick. 5, 6, 7, 8. Hit me with your smug shot. Why don't you hit me with your smug shot?
Hit me with your smug shot.
Fire away.
It's great theme song. I don't know how they got the rights, but I'm here for it. If you would like more of this tomfoolery, head on over to the Patreon. That is where you can get 4 bonus episodes a month. Tell them what else they can get, Joey.
You also get access to Swamp Talk, which is the monthly episode where we just trauma dump on you, talk about life and ADHD.
It's a talk show. It's our monthly talk show. We just end up talking about our feelings because we have a lot of them.
That's right. And we also have tiers where you can join that recording live and interact. We have paint and sip parties. We have watch parties. We've got something for everyone. If you want to really ingratiate yourself into the community, have a little bit more time, a little bit more content, we got you for as little as $5 a month.
So head on over there. If you're missing a little bit more of us in your ears, our general feed drops on Wednesday and our Patreon episodes drop on Thursday. And all you have to do is go to patreon.com/IThinkNot because that's the name of our show.
We thought of everything.
Also, we have to give a massive shout out to our video editor, Parker. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed and watched our YouTube videos. But our editor, Parker, totally gets our humor. He is next leveling it. Everybody, round of applause for our friend Parker. We are so happy to have him on the I Think Not team. And so many of you have made some great comments. Hopefully he sees those, but we want to give him a little bit of love. Hi, Parker.
Hello, Parker.
Thank you for being a part of this circus. Shall we get to the show, Joey?
Yeah.
All right. Season 1, Episode 1. Season 1, Episode 1.
Keep that. One episode.
That makes me happy.
What is wrong with me? So many things. Season 1, Episode 1 of Smugshots, Revenge of a PTA Mom.
Well, we are in Irvine, California, and as we are being shown parts of this very affluent town, all I can hear is the theme song from the TV show Weeds. Mm-hmm. Hit it, Rick! Little boxes on the hillside, little boxes made made of ticky-tacky little boxes on the hillside. Little boxes all the same. There's a green one and a pink one and a blue one and a yellow one. And they're all made out of ticky-tacky and they all look just the same. Thank you very much. And my contribution to this episode is done.
He was on Broadway. Christopher Duff is here, who's the district attorney, and he is very serious. And right off the bat, we're going to get an indication of exactly the type of episode we're going to get.
This case was batshit crazy from the very beginning.
I'm in. I'm sold. You had me at bat. I'm here. There has not been a better show for us in a very long time. Just strap down your titties, everyone.
It's absolutely unhinged. Well, we meet a woman named Kelly Peters, who is a PTA mom. The most feared mothers of them all. Don't fuck with a PTA mom. They will cut you. They'll pull out the same scissors they use to trim their eyebrows while they're waiting for carpool and stab you right in the nipple with them if you look at a PTA mom funny.
It doesn't have to be a PTA mom. Don't fuck with moms in any species. Have you ever seen a lioness protect her cub in a wilderness video? They will stab your eyes out.
Yeah. So Kelly lived across the street from the school that her kids attended, and she volunteered for everything. She logged the man hours. And school secretary Beverly is here looking like Murphy Brown, and she says Kelly never said no if they needed someone.
She was always willing to volunteer for everything. She could never say no.
I logged in some hours.
Do you know my old high school secretary was named Beverly? And she always had Tootsie Pops. Not for everyone, Joey. Just her favorites. Do you think I was her favorite?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Beverly always had Tootsie Pops and a hall pass for me.
Ellen, you can use your powers for good or for evil. With Beverly, they were for good.
But don't fuck with a school secretary. A school secretary knows everything. She hears it from the students. She hears it from the faculty. She hears it from the deans, from the administration. The school secretary is the nucleus, okay? I'm
Sweetie,
just telling you. And Beverly is no different.
I went to high school in the swamp. We were lucky if we had a high school janitor, okay? Trust me.
You didn't have a high school secretary?
No, it was connected to a church. I don't know if we did. I don't know. We had.
God is my secretary. Get to class, Joseph. God is watching and taking notes. I don't need a notepad. Who wrote you up? Ugh, Jesus. Some of the apostles were involved too.
We had a Coke machine. I was happy enough with that.
Kids walk to school or ride their bikes. You've got sidewalks everywhere. Everything is green. It just feels really, really safe.
Safe.
It's just a very safe place to live.
I'm not a drinker, but I would imagine a town with no bars or liquor stores would have some pretty high-strung people.
I would imagine they also have a very busy pharmacy.
Yeah. I don't need alcohol when I take one of these. Just moms downing white lady pills.
Literally. So imagine school secretary Beverly's face when the cops show up at the school asking for Kelly Peters. Where the fuck is Kelly Peters? We want Kelly. Why?
Yeah, and of course, Kelly is thinking the worst. She's like, oh my God, something happened. Something happened to my husband. And she runs there. She's like, what's going on? Of course she would think that. And they were like, get the keys to your car. She's like, I mean, okay, why? I would say the same thing. Why do you want the keys to my car? She said they were very serious. They were very stern. They were not messing around. And she's like, okay, come look at my Ford Focus. Let's go.
And then she realizes there's cops everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And they're surrounding my car. Apparently someone had called saying, hi, there is a intoxicated person driving this car. Here's the make and model, as well as a description of the driver. Well, the driver was Kelly, and the car is Kelly's. And she looks up, she sees a helicopter, and she's like, is there a dead body in my car or something? She's cracking a joke because, she doesn't have anything. She didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And the cop is like, stop talking.
Yeah, the cop was so stern. They opened the door to the car. Now, this is the reenactment actors that do that. And they pull out, you all, a bag of weed the size of my head. Now, in real life, I looked this up. The bag of weed was 17 grams of weed. It's a lot of weed.
It is a lot of weed.
But it's not, it was like a duffel bag.
Yeah.
It was like a little carry-all. It was so much weed. First and foremost, props department, how'd you get that much weed? Tully, Kelly, my lady, you didn't smell that California skunk in the back of your car?
It must have been wrapped very well.
I'm giving away the ending here. Kelly has no idea what the fuck this weed is or who it belongs to or what it's doing in her freaking car. But it's not just weed that they found.
In the bag, we found about 30 Vicodin pills, and then we found the second bag, which had about 10 pills in it, which later we found out were Percocet. At the time, to have those drugs without a prescription was a felony.
So is wearing a tan suit. Did you hear about that? Felony.
For wearing a red shoes on a Thursday. Mm-hmm. Name that show. Also,
Grey Gardens.
I was going to say to the... Okay, I'm not going to let my ADHD do this because you know it gets bad.
Joey just told me the other day, this ADHD motherfucker goes, we've really been going off topic.
We have.
Medic!
So the other issue here is these drugs are found in Kelly's car on school property. Mm. She's got a car full of drugs at the school. Trust me when I say this is fucking bad. Finding out your husband is sleeping with your sister would be better than showing up to an elementary school filled with weed, Vicodin, and Percocet.
Well, this is how loved Kelly was. We see a bunch of talking heads that are like other PT moms, and they were like, Kelly is kind of a hippie. Maybe she forgot to take the pot out of her car. Everyone is very confused. This just does not follow anything that Kelly would be involved in. And because everyone is like, she's so sweet and bubbly, but we've seen enough TV shows to know it could be hiding a dark past.
It's true.
Maybe she's running a meth lab out of her garage. This is true crime. We see all kinds of this shit. But most everyone was like, either she's leading this crazy double life or something nefarious has happened.
Well, yeah. Listen, she's a hippie. She's hugging trees. She's not driving around with blocks of marijuana in her backseat to the local Irvine Elementary School.
The George Jung of the PTA.
The what?
George Jung. That big, that huge marijuana and cocaine trafficker. Johnny Depp played him in that movie Blow.
I really ruined your joke.
What?
I really ruined your joke because
okay.
I didn't.
It's okay, babe. I'm used to it.
Parents are driving by, kids are getting out of school, and I was like, please put the drugs away.
Kids are coming out. Her daughter was coming out, and there was like a parade of prescription drugs and marijuana.
It's actually really sad because they said Kelly dropped to her knees.
Yeah.
And she was begging the cops not to arrest her and explaining, this is not mine. Now listen, I would imagine in this line of business, cops can smell liars a mile away.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But Kelly was losing it. So they're like, okay, all right, we need to ask more questions. Let's bring you inside. And they found a conference room at the elementary school. Beverly was like, right this way. Who's bothering you now, Jeannie?
Beverly's like, I'm just going to leave this door open for safety measures, also so I can hear. Thank you.
Don't speak too softly. So they give Kelly a drug test, an alcohol test. There's no drugs in her system. There's no alcohol in her system. And they're asking her all these questions. And they're like, Kelly, you don't look like somebody who would sell a Percocet to a kid. She's like, listen, I'm just a regular school mom. I'm not sitting in my kitchen with a live, laugh, sell Percocet sign right over the fucking kitchen table. And so they're realizing, like, she's not involved.
Yeah, they believe her. Of course, you never know. And they have to follow up on everything. And she's like, do anything. Search my house, whatever you need. And they were like asking her all kinds of questions. Could it be your husband? Is your husband truthful? Is your husband having an affair? What does that have to do with the price of fucking tea?
Maybe if there was someone, the mistress was trying to set her up. It's all crazy. But then they ask her, they're like, do you have any enemies? And she's like, no, I don't have any enemies. The school principal says, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Kelly, you do have enemies, and I'm really shocked that you've forgotten about it. And Kelly's like, oh, right, yeah. Oh, you're talking about the Easters. Yes. Turns out I do have enemies.
She's like, oh, there's this just one. Could you imagine if they asked, is anyone mad at you? We'd be like, well, first started with my cousin Pluky. Then,
yes, I do have an enemy. It's Daisy Egan, and she's my enemy because I called her a Lollipop Guild representing whore, and she throat punched me while singing "Come to My Garden."
well, I got a little bit of a problem with you two blue eyes. Nice. If you want to bring it up here, I'm totally fine with chatting about it.
Wow, I haven't seen you in a second, Sharon. What did I do?
Well, I spend the summers in P-Town.
That's an interesting place for you to go.
Why do you say that?
I mean, it's pretty gay, you know.
But I'm not gay.
I thought you were dating someone. Were you dating someone?
Yeah, I've taken some lovers. What of it?
Didn't you allude to one of your lovers being female?
Being what?
Being a lady.
Nah, Blue Eyes, you got me confused with someone else. See, this is why you're on my bad side. Because you always assume. You think because Sharon Bag of Bones rocks a cargo pant, okay? I think you're jealous. Does not make me a gay lesbian.
Great. Well, what were you doing in P-Town?
It's just a lovely time of year. It's the foliage, it's gorgeous.
It's what?
Gorgeous. I'm just saying, you rack up a lot of enemies, all right? You got a mouth on you,
Yeah.
okay? You challenge a lot of what I say, and me and the gals at the bowling league, quite frankly, we don't like you.
You know what? I will do my best because I like you, Sharon. Also, can you spell the word you just used to describe P-Town?
Gorgeous?
Mm-hmm. Could you spell that?
What do you got, a 4th grade learning level, Blue Eyes? It's gorgeous.
I know. I just would like...
G-A-H... Jess. Gorgeous.
Thank you, Sharon.
I gotta go. You're on a fucking one-way train, never coming back. All right. Remember, you guys aren't supposed to stay on topic. You made a promise.
Oh, God, Sharon, thank you for showing up and quoting Soul Asylum.
God, she's a fucking menace. We need to stay on topic. Okay.
You know what? So...
Then they give us the weirdest sentence. They're like...
And then she said, oh my gosh, it's been exactly a year. It's been exactly a year.
A year since what?
Well, turns out that it's been a year since Kelly made an enemy or two. And that was a woman and her husband named Jill and Kent Easter. Now, turns out Jill and Kent did not want to be on this episode.
Weird.
So tell them what we're doing here, Ellen.
Okay, so you guys, oh God, this is so good. The on-screen text says, comments made by actors are solely the actor's interpretation of the role and their opinions about Jill and Kent. So I'm going to play you this clip of what they play. You all, this is a reenactment audition for reenactment actors. This is the most meta thing I have ever seen. This is a scripted, made to look off the cuff audition to be Jill Easter and Ken Easter. I have been outdone. I couldn't even think of this.
And I am auditioning for the role of Jill Easter.
Jill's 2 common marks.
Hi, I'm Jill Easter.
Hi, I'm Jill Easter.
Okay, there's more.
I grew up in Orange County.
Of course, I wanted to go to the best school, so I went to UC Berkeley, became a, practicing lawyer.
No, wait. There's more. It keeps getting better. Keep going. Keep going.
And that's where I met my husband, Kent, that young love.
And now there's Kent. Kent auditions. Here we go.
Hi, I'm auditioning for the role of Kent Easter.
Oh, she definitely wears the pants.
She's the boss, and I just can't say no to her.
We eventually decided we wanted to have a family. We moved back down to Irvine.
Yes. Oh,
wow.
That was great. Whatever film school this director just graduated from, and he's like, I'm really going to shake up true crime TV.
Yep.
Watch this. I am here for it.
Like, what a way to give us everyone's backstory.
It is such a gift from the baby Jesus.
It really is. So here's the thing. Jill and Kent were both very powerful. They're both powerful attorneys. Kent was a partner at a law firm and made a lot of money. And Jill was always known for being like very put together. She was kind of intimidating. She was also on top of things. Like she was very active in her kids' lives. She was very concerned about their well-being and their education. But apparently all the parents in Irvine are like that. They're giving you like they're at a 15. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, Secretary Beverly has some things to say about Jill Easter.
Jill Easter was one of our parents, and she had a child who was in first grade, a little boy. She was very concerned about her kids.
That is the school secretary version of bless her heart. Beverly is not going to, she's given you the facts. Her lack of opinion on Jill Easter is her opinion on Jill Easter. I have never seen so much shade wrapped in the envelope of just fact. Yes, Jill Easter was one of our parents, and she had a son. And there it is.
I mean, basically, the show is telling us that Jill Easter is Laura Dern in Big Little Lies. Very that.
So we know that Jill Easter is going to do anything for her kids. So we're going to go back to the morning of the crime when poor Kelly is like, what the fucking all over the blacktop at the school.
Yep.
It's 3:30 in the morning, and we see reenactment of someone stashing the drugs in Kelly's car. And we're getting a bunch of voiceovers during this time about how vindictive Jill is. Even though she's highly educated, she's not someone you want to mess with.
Yeah.
So in the reenactment, we clearly see a man stashing these drugs, and a reenactment, what we are to assume would be Jill sort of having her phone in her hand.
Right.
And the way the history goes is Jill was the boss. And Kent was probably just following Jill's orders, especially he had also been a bystander to all of this harassment. We're going to get to that in a second.
So what makes a man like Kent Easter stash drugs in the car of a woman he probably has never even met, right? And why would Jill be so adamant about him doing this? Let's go back in the DeLorean, shall we, to a year before.
So we're in the after-school program, and Kelly ran all the after-school stuff. Like, she didn't teach the classes, but she organized everyone, you know, because it's like a whole second drop-off for aftercare. So she was like the coordinator, right?
I was having a very normal day.
Kelly's procedure was that she would have all the kids come through the school.
So if you didn't come up with me the first time, the door would lock.
This wasn't in the episode, but Jill's son Luke had actually been in a tennis lesson outside. When he came inside, he was sort of like straggling, and poor Kelly went outside to match all the parents, and Luke wasn't in that group. But Jill Easter was late. So Kelly did not know that Luke was even still there. And so she went back inside and she sees Luke like pounding on the back door because he was like running behind from getting back from his tennis lesson.
And, you know, little kids get scared because kids are stupid.
Yeah.
So, you know, he couldn't get in the door. He started crying. He was very upset. And he was brought around into the front of the school. Well, Jill arrives finally to pick up her kid and sees her kid distraught. And she loses her shit.
Jill was screaming and yelling at Kelly. And with that, Kelly said, come on, let's go outside.
I just stood there and took it. Finally, I just looked at her and said, I'm not doing this anymore.
And basically, she's like, I just had to stand there and take it, right? I stood there and I let this woman with the crazy tattooed eyebrows scream in my face until I remembered I don't get paid for this job. I don't get a check. I don't get health insurance to stand here and let some twat with a Birkin bag humiliate me for something I already done apologize for. So she walked away, but not before she said, the thing is, Jill, your kid is slow.
What she meant was he was straggling behind.
Yeah.
Like he was slow coming into the line. I didn't see him. I didn't know he wasn't where he was supposed to be. And Jill was like, are you calling my son stupid? And Kelly was like, first of all, watch your mouth. And she's like, no, he just got locked out because he was straggling. He's 6 years old.
Right.
Like, he wasn't keeping up. And Jill was like, you are calling him stupid. It was classic redirection. And like you said, Kelly was like, I don't have to sit here and take your abuse.
Nope.
And as she walked away, Jill was like, I'm gonna get you.
Yep.
What?
Y'all, this situation spawned a year of hell.
Okay, so let me say a couple things. Number one,
Okay.
I understand being
That gay
scared.
people are better than straights.
Yeah. I understand that you, by living the life that you want, you are living in sin. So.
The life you've chosen. Go on.
I love it when people say, like, do you think gay is a choice? And they're like, yeah. And they go, oh, when did you choose to be straight? Have you ever seen that guy? The guy on the
Plenty of
street?
times. And they're like,
Yeah. I understand being scared and upset. You gotta rein it in because shit happens. When you are a parent, shit happens. We need to understand that this whole thing went on for about 6 minutes. Jill was late. And then Kelly was like, oh, what the heck? Sees like, Luke was like banging on the door. This wasn't like he was lost for an hour or two. It was a couple of minutes. I'm not taking away the fact that that 6-year-old was probably really scared. And it is really upsetting to see your child upset. But sometimes, and this is coming from a big old mama bear, we have to zoom out and be like, that was really scary. Accidents happen. Stuff happens. Is everyone good? Let's go get Dairy Queen.
exactly.
And Kelly was super apologetic. She's like,
Yeah.
oh, God, I'm so sorry. Shit happens. The kid wasn't where he was supposed to be, but he's 6. Kids are gonna kid. Like, that's just what kids do. It was so blown out of proportion. I just wanted to take a minute to say, like, I get that that could be a scary scenario.
Of course.
But there's
Also-
no reason to lose your shit at the person who's absolutely trying to help you.
No, I totally agree. As a parent of 2 cats, I have learned deep patience. I have learned that some things are out of your control, and I can't lose my shit in front of my cats like that because I don't want them to look at me and be like, my dad is bad.
Hey, it's Ellen. I just gonna need another appointment for this week. Or 2. It's my therapist. No, he's doing it again. Yeah, the cats. Thank you.
Yes.
The next day, Jill Easter came in and wanted to talk to the principal. She was trying to get Kelly fired from her volunteer.
So now reenactment Jill is wearing her reenactment skinny jeans and her reenactment Steve Madden pumps. And we just see them clomping up to the school. I don't understand the significance of her always wearing cha-cha heels. Like, I love a cha-cha heel, but why are you wearing a cha-cha heel to school?
I mean, just to show that, like, at 8 a.m., she is serving see you next Tuesday.
Yeah, got it.
So, yeah, the next day, Jill shows up. She talks to the principal and says, I want Kelly fired.
They're like, she's a volunteer.
Yeah,
We don't pay her.
And also, the school invested the situation.
It invested
I have
it.
officer, there is a situation. What is a situation?
I need you to invest it. Invest in it.
Listen, a situation is a situation involving gays. It's a situation. And I need you to take it seriously, otherwise you are homophobic. Anyway, the school investigates the situation. They get all the details, right? And they told Jill, like, okay, so this was a misunderstanding. We're not going to fire Kelly. This is ridiculous. And y'all, Jill turned into Faye Dunaway and Mommy Dearest because she was all,
Don't fuck with me, fellas!
oh yeah, terrifying Joan Crawford moment.
It was just so much. Like, could you imagine being like, that volunteer person who everybody loves, who gives tens and thousands of her hours to this school for free? Yeah, I want you to fire her. The school is like, pump the brakes, Jill.
Yep.
Number 1, Kelly does so much for us. We don't pay her, and it was a misunderstanding. And number 2, everybody hates you, Jill. Everybody hates you. That is a quote from This Is 40.
Yeah.
God, Jill, everybody hates you.
And I'm glad your husband died. He probably fucking killed himself.
That was an improv too.
Oh, all of it. It's so good. Yeah, I mean, the thing is like, Jill is not a person who is used to hearing the word no.
That's the end of podcast.
Absolutely. She ended up campaigning against this poor woman who volunteers her time to make sure that kids get put with their parents in the right car. Like, what the fuck? She made flyers. The next day, she was handing out flyers to parents. And these flyers are basically saying no child is safe in this school until Kelly is fired. Are you okay? Let's just say Jill's elevator, it doesn't go to the top floor. You get what I'm saying? She's a few sandwiches short of a picnic. The porch light is on, but nobody is home. You get what I'm saying?
And they would not let it go. Jill was going to defend little Luke's honor for not getting in the line after tennis.
The woman was relentless.
The Easters would not let this go. Each week it seemed to escalate. They complained to the superintendent. They complained to the state of California.
They filed a police report and they said Kelly was harassing her son. And like, she would go everywhere to complain. Whoever would listen, they were like, ma'am, this is a Panera Bread. what do you want you pick two? I don't get.
We can't help you. Take your broccoli cheddar soup and get the fuck out of here.
Imagine having this kind of time. Imagine having Jill Easter time. Like, babe, learn some macrame. Do something. She is over there, like, getting indictments and getting criminal charges. She's like, I will take this to Congress.
Yeah, literally, she had her husband file a lawsuit against Kelly Peters in Orange County courts. And that shit is expensive. You know, going through a lawsuit, like, Kelly doesn't have a lot of money. Then she hired a private detective to follow Kelly while simultaneously taking out a restraining order against her because she says Kelly's trying to murder me. Sweetie, look at me. Look in these eyes. The calls are coming from in the house. They're coming from inside the house. And I'm talking about your mind.
This is all from that little incident. Jill, girlie, a series of small inconveniences would have been much better. I don't know, a glitter bomb?
You can buy rhino poop from Africa and ship it to anyone's house.
Cockroaches.
Yes. There's so much. You know what? Let me just tell you. I'm grateful that we are covering this episode because sometimes I worry that my hyperfixating or like my obsession at times means something ain't quite right with me. Then I heard this story and I was like, I'm doing fucking great. Like, call me the nanny because I'm fine. See what I did there?
I see. I got it. You're great. Ow. So the police tell us they intercepted or they found in their investigation a honey-do list of sorts from Jill to her husband, Kent, of all the things she wanted to do to Kelly.
I want to do a background check on Kelly.
I want to serve her while she's at school tomorrow. I want to include a settlement agreement which states she cannot volunteer in any position that would put her in a school.
That is thorough. That is dramatic. That is psychotic. This is over a 5-minute incident. I repeat, I want Jill Easter kind of time. I don't know who I would ruin in this way. I mean, maybe, circa 2018, it would have been, I would have done that to him. But man, this is intense. But the reason she could do it, we have to remember, is her energy in this faux reality that she has been wronged in some way is backed by the fact that they're very powerful people.
They're
powerful. Lawyers. They've got fuck you money.
Yep.
So they can do shit like this to little people like Kelly. And I'm calling her a little person, like, in the sense that, like, they put themselves in an elevated level of, like, society, right?
Yep.
Like, she's just a volunteer PTA mom and we're fucking wealthy lawyers. That is why she has this kind of, like, weird ass confidence behind everything that she's doing.
Exactly. Well, at one point, Kelly she was exhausted by all of this, right?
Poor thing.
And one day it just stopped. It just stopped, and she's thinking, wow, maybe Jill got tired. Maybe she's putting energy into something else, like suing the tattoo artist who did her eyebrows. I'm sorry. Have you seen the eyebrow? It's a crime. It's an actual crime.
Those eyebrows, one eyebrow is shocked and one eyebrow is curious.
Listen, eyebrows are cousins, not twins. But in this case, they are mortal enemies, okay?
They're not related. They don't even live in the same state, and they're fighting. They're mad at each other. They're like, I won't get you, not before I get you.
Yeah, one is starring in Pirates of the Caribbean, and the other one is starring in The Exorcist. You make sense of it. So it turns out Jill was not tired. She did not get tired. That brings us to the day of the crime, right? Police get a call at 1:30 p.m.
Yes, hi. I was calling because I saw a car driving very erratically. It looked like she had some pills or something.
Okay, what is your name?
My name is Jay.
That's a lot to unpack. So the man who called is named Jay. So you think you saw pills as she was driving erratically by you? You could see the pills flying up in the back seat. I don't understand.
Great eyesight, Jay.
Yeah.
Honestly, the FBI would probably want you for some kind of, Viper. Sniper? Viper? God, what is wrong with me? Sniper position. And so they're listening to the call, and he doesn't sound too confident with the name Jay.
No.
He's like, what's your name? It's George Glass.
George Glass.
And so the call continues.
Appears there may be under the influence, and it has a rim that says only for the groovy.
Also, I love this little key-in when someone is lying, when someone gives way too many details that nobody asked. It's giving reading a script.
Why is this man offering up so much information? Also, why does he sometimes speak with an accent and sometimes not? I never told you this. When I was in high school, I don't know what's wrong with me, okay?
Yeah, nor me.
Okay. I used to go to the Structure. Remember Structure before it was Express for Men?
Mm-hmm.
I used to go to Structure.
Shopped there.
And I would walk around and I would pretend that I spoke French. And I was not speaking a lick of French. I needed a lot of attention.
That is honestly so bold, considering so many people speak French in New Orleans.
I was a fucking idiot. So I'm literally walking around going, je ne peux pas blah, blah, blah. Like literally walking around being like, oh, excuse me, do you have those V-neck fleece sweatshirts in the striped one? Yeah, in a large? Great. Je ne peux pas. I was so stupid. This is the equivalent of how stupid that is.
Maybe you deserved your trauma.
And that's what killed my dad. So
were your parents supportive when you were growing up? Not really. I feel like you deserve it, though.
I mean, listen, I was always dramatic.
Creative.
Don't do it. So the cops are like, this is fucking weird. Really weird. And the dispatcher is here.
My name's Yvonne Prado. I'm a dispatcher here with the Irvine Police Department. I took a call that struck me as suspicious. He switched to an Indian accent, like midway through the call.
This man was doing a fake Indian accent. Literally, 1 second he was Indian, and the next he was from Pasadena. What? Make it make sense.
And the name that he gave was the name of an actor. They were like, that guy's in movies. I can't pronounce his name and I don't want to butcher it. Can you?
It's Jay Chandrasekhar. He was in the Super Troopers movies.
He said he was Jay Chandrasekhar. He's like,
he literally took the name of an actor. It's so stupid. So now the cops have to trace the call, but that was actually a pain in the ass. Tell them why, Yellen.
Well, he didn't call 911.
No.
He called the front desk of the police station.
Yep.
So the 911 calls easily traced. Front desk of a police station, that's like tracing a call to your home.
Yep.
Like, they couldn't do it. They, in fact, had to subpoena the phone company for their own phone records. They're like, we're the literal police. And we got a call that we think is fake. And they're like, sorry, nothing I can do about it. I mean, go on, phone company. No preferential treatment here. They're like, rules are rules. They're like, I guess we have to subpoena the police station phone records.
It's so random. Well, Thank God they did, because it turns out that call came from the Island Hotel in Newport Beach. And the police are able to get surveillance from the hotel, and they see their suspect walk in and head to a conference room on his phone. Y'all, they showed this video to the school secretary. What's her name again?
Beverly.
Yeah, Beverly. She's like, oh, who's bothering you now, Jilly? And
we have some questions. Who will know everything? They're like, Beverly.
Literally. They go to Beverly and they're like, take a look at this surveillance from this hotel. Do you know who that is? And she's like, oh, yeah, that's Kent Easter, Jill's husband. And they're like, wonderful. We'd like to play some audio for you. This is from the 911 call. Who does this sound like? She's like, that is absolutely Kent Easter. Thank you. So I like this game. Is there any more? Do you like Jeopardy? Oh, I have a flashlight in the back. We could turn the lights out and we could do shadow puppets. You want to do that?
Beverly's word is as good as gold. So, like, if Beverly fucking says it, I'm going with Beverly every time. If it's Kent Easter, that's what Beverly said. Done.
Yep.
Remember, Kent is a partner at a huge law firm. Well, it just so happens that law firm was right across the street from the hotel that the call was made to the police station. And then I love this because one of the detectives serves shade with a side of snark.
I guess they didn't realize there was video cameras. I mean, in hotels?
It is literal amateur hour. It's so fucking stupid. And now the police are able to get warrants for both Kent's home and his place of work. But here's the thing. Both Jill and Kent are lawyers. And you're not going to get lawyers to talk. You know, I mean, so they're like, we have to come up with a plan because if anybody knows not to talk, it's going to be a fucking lawyer, hopefully.
So they're like, all right, let's go try and like appeal to his good sense or whatever. So we hear audio recording from the body cam.
It'll come full circle to you. I know you're a smart man.
Yeah, I am a smart guy. Actually, I have no idea what incident was or wasn't happening with Peters.
It doesn't matter what they were trying to do to Kent. Kent is not talking. He's denying everything. And Kent and Jill lawyered the fuck up.
The smartest thing that they've done so far. And they got two of the best attorneys in Orange County. But you know what the police had? Phone records. Mm-hmm. Because it seems that in the very early wee hours of the morning, on the day of the crime, Jill and Kent were texting, calling, and their phones were pinging off the towers next to Kelly Peters' home.
Amateurs!
Placing them at the scene of the crime. So that means that sometime between 2:30 a.m. and 4:30 a.m., these two assholes planted those drugs in Kelly's car. And then we see Jill on the Dr. Phil show talking about this whole situation.
You hold her responsible for not properly supervising and protecting your son?
I'm not even sure it was negligence.
What do you mean?
I think it was purposeful.
I just want to pop in real fast to say Dr. Phil ain't buying this shit. He ain't buying what she's selling.
What would be her motive?
She would have to answer that.
Yes, Jill. That's right. Kelly did this on purpose. She targeted your son because she was like, you know what makes me feel good? Mm-hmm. Orgasms and making 6-year-old boys cry. That feels nice to me. I like to lock them right out of the school so they don't know where they're coming or going. I like to make them cry right to the point where their face turns red and they might sneeze something on me. Like, who does that? No one's out to get your 6-year-old, you fucking lunatic. Anyway, I'm fine.
Truly a lunatic. So now, of course, back at the school and in the neighborhood, Jill and Kent have a circle of friends. They've kind of like told their story. You know when people do that, when there's been like a misunderstanding and people kind of like campaign around like, oh, did you hear this? Did you hear that? And there were people that absolutely took it out on Kelly and they were like screaming like, get out of our school system. Nobody wants you. So it's not like everyone was on Kelly's side. She got a fair amount of hate. In fact, this wasn't in the episode. Her kids had to transfer schools.
Oh my God, that's awful. I mean, the crazy thing is she couldn't even defend herself.
Right, because she wasn't allowed to say anything because it was an open and active investigation. So she had to take this harassment from people.
For a year.
Yeah.
But wait. I mean, we're talking a full year after they found the drugs in her car.
Right. While they're waiting for the trial, she was totally susceptible to not only the people in the neighborhood that might not have believed her story and believed the Easters, but also she was susceptible to fucking Jill and Kent.
You're absolutely right. She didn't know what these people were capable of. All she knows is they're very powerful and they have a fuck ton of money. So now the former DA of Orange County, Christopher Duff, is back. And this man looks like the kind of man who calls his wife mother. I don't know why. I can't make sense of it. The kind of man who, if he's gay, has a very large collection of dolls and all of them have a backstory that he's meticulously written out. Don't ask me to make sense of it. It's just what I get.
I can get on board with that description, but he really is a down bitch. He really stuck up for Kelly and like fought the good fight for her. But he definitely has a lot of decorative pillows.
I was transferred into a new unit. I was just kind of going through the new files, learning about each one. And I came across the Easter case that was still being worked on and hadn't been filed yet.
Ellen, tell them about the crime sex thriller that Jill wrote. Go on.
Well, Jill Easter wrote a book, and they really want us to know that she was an amateur author, which is hilarious because anyone can, like, be an author. Like, you're not like an amateur author. I just love the shade. She self-published her book, and it was kind of like about this whole drug scheme and like a whole drug ring. And so that we have all the reenactment actors auditioning to be reenactment actors read parts of this racy novel. But the best part is the gay guy at the end who gets really flustered.
I don't have the right underwear for this. Then take them off.
This gay man was not prepared. He's like, I never.
He was like, when he finished reading, he looked up and he's like, I'm not sure, but I think I've just been hate crimed.
Yeah. This really feels homophobic to me. Does anyone else?
Well, it's crazy because they created a YouTube teaser about this, right? This man committing the perfect crime, which Kent Easter narrated. They posted it the day after they planted drugs in Kelly's car. These people are so fucking stupid. They didn't use burner phones. They used their own. They didn't wear gloves when they touched Kelly's car or planted the drugs in her car. They had their fingerprints. They had their DNA. These people are fucking idiots.
Being educated is not the same thing as being smart.
Yeah, no. The only thing that they had was arrogance. That's what they had.
Yeah, and they had their big degrees. Like, they kept flashing their intelligence and their school. Their degree. You can have as many degrees as you want. You can still be a fucking idiot.
Yep.
They were told that they'd be allowed to turn themselves in, and we decided that that was not the appropriate way to handle the case, that they shouldn't be given special treatment. That was a shock to them and a blow to them.
They were like, no, I'm sorry. We're rich. I'm sorry. We're lawyers. Wait, what's happening? Why are we being treated like other people? And the DA had another thing coming.
Doesn't matter if you're rich or powerful or you're a lawyer. You break the law, you're going down.
That's a nice sentiment. That doesn't always happen. But come on.
Yeah, well, apparently the Easters initially had been given the option to turn themselves in. So imagine their surprise when the district attorney was like, nope, they're not getting special treatment. Go over there, arrest them, and make their handcuffs real tight. I want them tight, tight, tight.
This is so good, though, because we see the reenactment actors getting arrested in slow motion, and they play a Dead Troll song, Young Boy Never Broke Again. This is like a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yep.
Whoever is trying to make true crime TV cool again, it's working. It's so cinematic.
It's very cinematic. It's also just wild to me because I really think that Jill thought she was doing something. Do you know what I mean? Like, she really thought she did something.
But don't you know people like that who have, like, never been checked? And you're like, you haven't gotten popped in the mouth before. You know what I mean? Like, you know those people. Like, how have you been able to get away with that behavior for as long as you have? We know people like that.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it doesn't matter because they got arrested and Kelly hears the news and she's like, fucking finally, because they weren't keeping her in the loop. She had no idea. She just knew that this was an ongoing investigation for a year. Now, we see the deposition of Kent Easter, right? And when they ask him, did you knowingly frame Kelly Peters alongside your wife? He says, no. And I just want to be like, baby, now's your chance to get rid of this woman. She already got you in so much trouble. I wouldn't be shocked if she tried to pin this all on him. He literally is throwing away his empire for her. So now the episode takes a little bit of a turn.
For someone that doesn't know, what's the definition of cuckold?
I was like, we're getting into cuckold? Okay, go ahead and tell them, Ellen. Just kidding, I'll tell them. A cuckold is a man whose wife is unfaithful. And for those of you who don't know, some people have a cuckold kink where they'll invite someone over and watch their partner, squat in someone else's pickle patch.
It's happened to the best of us. It's happened to a lot of us. It's happened to a couple of us here. Jill was fucking a firefighter. Okay, been there. It's fine. Okay? Everyone get off my back about it.
So this is the thing. Now Kent, his angle has to turn, right? Because he cannot get disbarred. If he gets disbarred, he loses everything. So now he needs to make Jill look like this controlling mastermind who has puppeted all of these events, including his actions.
Right, he's gonna play the part of the wimpy husband and be like, yeah, I knew about the affair, but I couldn't say anything. This show is so amazing. It's giving me such Pink Collar Crime vibes. So now we have to have more auditions, Joey.
Yes.
We have to have auditions for the firefighter.
He's so hot.
Hi, my name is Sean, auditioning for fireman/Jill's lover.
I just wrote LOL. I guess he booked it because he's in the next scene.
He's so hot.
Walking, and he's doing this slow motion reenactment walk with roses in his hand. You're gonna go fuck your mistress with roses in your hand? Please.
Yeah, he was romantic.
It's fuck me while I'm composting my veggie garden in the back. No, we're not doing roses. We're not doing champagne. I appreciate this whole seduction scene you have going on. Turns out they had been having an affair for 2.5 years. Kent would go to work, and he'd come and extinguish her.
Does anybody need a hose? Ugh, so bad. God, I couldn't help it. It was there. So here's the thing. Jill was under surveillance the entire time. And as this firefighter is walking up to the house, he clocks the detectives who are staking out the house. And he literally does an about face. He's like, nope. And he's out of there.
Could you make the Scooby-Doo sound with your feet? He's like, bye!
And then Jill comes running out of the house in lingerie trying to look for him. She clocks the detectives and she hauls ass inside. And the detectives are like, I think the jig is up. The jig is up. We've been seen. So apparently they already had warrants in place. They were just trying to get more information. And then they're like, well, fuck it. Let's implement the search warrant. They go inside and one of the detectives caught up with the firefighter. And basically the firefighter is like, yeah, I was here to swap gravy with her. And they did try to utilize the firefighter. They got him to call her, record the conversations. It didn't go anywhere. They wired him.
The thing is, the defense was going to do this whole battered man thing. But truth be told, the affair has nothing to do with it. In the great words of Jim Carrey,
the fact that my client has been ridden more than Seattle Slew is irrelevant.
It is irrelevant. I mean, it's kind of okay, so she's a piece of shit. We know that, but it actually has no bearing on the case with Kelly or what she did. You're just more proving she's a piece of shit, but legally, it doesn't hold any kind of water.
They just try to generate sympathy. This guy's beaten down. He's getting cheated on by his wife. He's humiliated.
He's also like, I didn't know what was happening. I just blindly made that call to the police because of her. So did you just blindly drop those drugs in her car? I mean, I don't understand.
So they're going to explain what Jill did in court, but they're explaining it in a voiceover, and all of the auditionees are doing peas and carrots to the camera. Do you want to show them what peas and carrots is, babe?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're on stage and you're not in the scene, this is what peas and carrots is. Sorry, this is more for YouTube, but, go with us. Ready? Peas and carrots.
Or sometimes you can switch to watermelon.
or good blood, bad blood. Literally, these reenactment actors are just pretending to talk. You guys, this show is so freaking hysterical.
I want them so badly to be like, hub, 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 hub.
But it is not half as funny as what Jill fucking says in court.
Yeah, the first thing she does is insult everyone. She's like,
I went to the best law school of anyone in this room.
You too, Judge. Fuck you. I hate your face. Your mom's a hoe, and you look gay in those robes.
And all the lawyers in the room look at each other and they're like,
wait, is this a fucking play about us?
They're like, I know she did not just insult us. And the judge is like,
Yep. I mean, the thing is that Jill had already pled guilty, right? And the goal was to make Jill take credit for the whole thing. Well, the one day that she was supposed to come in and testify, she couldn't. And you know why she couldn't?
I know why. I watched the show.
She needed an interpreter because apparently she's deaf.
Because she apparently needs an interpreter. And we were like, okay, she's deaf.
She was deaf, and they think that she was trying to get sympathy, but then she was in the hallway talking to her husband just fine. And the jury was like, ma'am, we can see and hear you. You are not deaf.
It was like Casey Joy from Worst Roommate Ever, who all of a sudden was like an Asian man who couldn't speak English. And they're like, he was born in Tennessee.
And he was arrested. Y'all, vet your sign language interpreters. Please vet them. So she's not deaf. Deaf my ass. Stupid. That's what she is. Absolutely fucking stupid. And then the firefighter showed up to say, she's not deaf.
Okay.
She's got no gag reflex, but she has perfect hearing.
Don't you stomp your less seasoned Prada shoes at me, honey.
He's gay. Enrique is gay.
And so then the jury walks out and they see her talking plain as day to her whip-shitted husband, Kent. And they're like, bitch, I thought you were gay. And so they were like,
I thought you were gay?
Oh.
And she's gay. Sorry, she's deaf.
I can't believe I just did that.
Listen, y'all, Jill was erratic. She was unpredictable. And they were like, whatever you do not put this newly deaf woman on the stand. It's too risky.
Jill, how are you? I said, how are you? Oh, I'm deaf now. Yeah. Sorry. I didn't. Yeah. Did she say deaf? Hey. Who thought that was a good idea?
It's like a clown car. It's a clown car of excuses. Just like one clown after another. I can't keep up.
Could you imagine Jill DeKent? She's like, honey, I had an idea. Go with me.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, God.
It was so crazy that the defense ended up not calling her.
The jurors found it offensive. I mean, in addition to everything else in this case that was offensive.
Well, whatever. The verdict came in, and they were both charged felony charges for false imprisonment, 2 counts of conspiracy, and conspiring to have her falsely imprisoned. What about drug possession?
I don't know about that. And
because they were going to charge poor Kelly with drug possession.
I would be curious to know if cannabis was legal in California at the time.
2010? No, it wasn't.
2011. But also...
it was 2011. You guys, it was 2011. It was totally different year.
Sorry,
Still no, Joey.
I can't hear you. I'm deaf. So the district attorney was determined to get Jill and Kent disbarred because they had harassed this poor woman for a year. They sued her knowing she didn't have a lot of money. They wanted to make her life hell, and they did. And that's why they went after felony charges. Jill served 120 days in prison, and Kent was given 180 days. But they don't tell us if they were disbarred.
They were.
They were?
Yeah, they absolutely were.
Good.
They both were for life.
Great.
Yeah. Shortly after the trial, they got divorced. Did not see that coming. What?
Shocker.
What a love story you two shared. Ah, well. Listen to this other clip of Dr. Phil.
It's not a drug charge. It's something like restricting the freedom of another.
meaning that you planted the drugs.
Okay.
So now comes the civil trial, because of course there's going to be a civil trial. Kent was really leaning into the poor, abused, degraded, whipped man trope, and he decided to represent himself in the civil trial.
Dressed as the bird lady from Mary Poppins, talking about Tom's a bag. I mean, this man wore the same sad outfit every day. They're like, he wouldn't wear a belt, so his pants were falling off, and he was basically just trying to make it look like, I have no money, I have nothing, we're falling on hard times. He even said that they were on food stamps. Meanwhile, Jill is living in their $4 million mansion in Newport Beach. They really are so stupid.
Yeah, and even the lawyer was like, I know you're going to look at this pathetic man who has worn the same blue sweater every day and think some kind of way about it. Don't fall for it. It's a trick. Have you ever seen that limping dog who limps like when it wants a treat? And then it's like bleep, 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 bleep.
Yep.
Don't believe that limping dog.
Yep.
Don't believe the man in the blue sweater. It's all a ruse. It's all an act. And the jury agreed because they awarded Kelly Peters $5.7 million in damages. That would take a lot of my emotional burdens away.
$5.7 million.
Did I say dollar?
You sure did.
Wow. Did you guys know what I meant? But, you know, they tell us in the episode, a judgment is only as good as someone's ability to pay it.
Yeah, for sure.
And they were squirreling their money away. And Kent, again, these are like the worst criminals ever. He tried to put his house in his father-in-law's name, and the cops were like, you know that's public record, right?
Yeah, you can't do that, you big dum-dum. So they went and got the house and they sold it. Sadly, it was not worth $5.6 million, but...
Or 5.7, which was the settlement.
Sorry, $5.7 million. But, you know, how much did she get? We don't know. But she did say to her, she's like, I wanted to make sure my attorneys were paid because they took good care of me, and that was important to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's really sweet.
Yeah, very sweet. But she said they were real, like, down bitch attorneys. But when everything was said and done, there was no remorse. They didn't even fucking apologize to Kelly for, like, ruining her life for an entire year. No accountability.
None.
No apology. You know what? We've all done ugly things. We're not talking put a bag of weed in your Mima's PT Cruiser awful, but saying I'm sorry is not that fucking hard.
It's not. And what people were so confused about is all of this for a 5-minute conversation. But what they think really it was a pissing contest because Jill Easter was not used to being told no. And she fixated on this, and she was determined to take Kelly down, and it never worked out. And instead, she shot herself in the foot. She destroyed her life. She destroyed her husband's life. God knows what her kids had to go through because of that. And now
her kids have changed their name.
Well, she changed her name like 5 times.
But your kids shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
It's a long process to get your name changed. For what? What was the motive? Because this woman was just like, okay, your kid stood outside for 5 minutes? That is psychotic behavior. I get defending your kid. I will defend my kid till the end of the earth. But sometimes shit just isn't worth it.
I agree.
It is so wild that you're so right. She blew everything up. They lost their jobs. They lost their money. They lost their credibility. She lost her amateur author status.
She was poised to be the next John Grisham. The John Grisham of fucking Orange County. Y'all, also, LOL. In 2021, Kent Easter went on Jeopardy.
Mm-hmm. From San Diego, California, Kent Easter.
Kent. What is Ox? No.
This show.
The shade.
The editor is a drag queen. I swear.
The shade on this show is epic level. This is elite shade given by everyone at the you know, they have the at the, you know, say something funny. Forgot it. Say something funny. I love this show. Say something funny.
Well, I wanted to pop in because I got something to say.
No.
Yeah, that's right. I was accused of something that I did not do, I've been wanting to get it off my chest.
Okay.
Yeah. I was accused of liking you, and that is a bold-faced lie. Because I have never liked you, and I never will like you. I don't like what you're wearing. I don't like your bun. I don't like your headphones. I don't like your cats. I will never like you. But I do like Christmas.
Wow, we've had some visitors today.
I know. Oh, thank you, Del Bitches. This is Smugshots. It's a great show. It's not heavy. I mean, I feel horrible for everything that Kelly Peters went through, but I hope those people are hiding, burying their heads in the sand, especially after that Jeopardy thing. Be sure and follow us on social media at IThinkNotPod. We're always posting our content there, and tell them about our YouTube, Joey.
That's right. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. You can find us at I Think Not Pod over there on the YouTubes. You can see the ridiculous faces that we make while we record. It's a lot of fun. What do the kids say? Like, subscribe, comment, eat my ass, something like that.
Whatever. And find our bonus content over on patreon.com/IThinkNot, or you can always find us here on your general feed for free every Wednesday. And don't forget, we love you.
We love you so much, and I love you too.
I love you, Joey.
Love you all, DBs.
Bye.